We're just chill, like we're low stress. There's nothing to stress about. There's nothing to really have us all amped up all the time. Like it's real chill environment. It's a great avenue of nursing. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, hello, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. So today I'm going to talk about how and where to get started if you want to be a home health nurse. I'm going to start from two different starting points, but it'll come together, if that makes sense. So I have been in home health for quite a while, on and off. I first got introduced to home health when I was sometime right after high school. I was a home health CNA, and with that, when I was a home health CNA, I would go to different homes and do morning care, afternoon care, evening care, so forth and so on. Now as a nurse, I just stick to one or two clients throughout my week. So if you're in nursing school, I want to say if you're in your last semester of nursing school, you're going to have hospitals, medical clinics, doctor's offices, long-term care facilities, home health agencies are all going to come to your school. They're going to bring you food. They're going to bring you all of this stuff to try to get you, to work for that company or facility. So that's, if you're in college right now, that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen that way. Also, if you're out of college and you're working in a hospital or doing anything outside of home health, then all it takes is a quick little Google search. And even if you're in nursing school in your last quarter, you can do a quick little Google search as well. So you're going to do a Google search home health agencies in my area, but they're all over the place. I used to work for a home health agency that was in Raleigh, and I was living in my hometown. Never had to step foot in the office ever. Everything was digital, online, time slips, everything was I could do it where I was at. So once you do a Google search, home health agencies in my area, and then you're gonna create a non-negotiable. So the pay, PTO, benefits, insurance, write down everything you're looking for this agency, down to the schedule. If you want to work a Monday through Friday type of schedule, a weekend schedule, a night schedule, just write that down. And you're gonna call the agency. Once you narrowed your search down and you found one that meets all of those requirements, you're gonna call the agency hey, I am a new grad, or I've been a nurse for X amount of years and I want to work with your company. So after you call them, get established, you're gonna get your contact information. They're gonna send you some modules or something to do via email, your references, all that stuff. They're gonna ask you do you have G-tube experience, trach experience, vent experience, and it's okay if you say no or yes, because either way you have to get that training in the office before you move forward to be in the home. So when you get that, they're gonna do a semi phone call interview, and then they're gonna set you up for orientation. Now when you get set up for orientation, it's usually an 8 to 5 is what's scheduled, but you really don't stay there that long most times, depending on if they have modules, trainings, or in-office training, hands-on training. Depending on that, it usually doesn't take that long. So once you do your orientation in the office, your background check come through, the drug tests come through, all of the paperwork stuff is complete, then you're gonna go into training in the office. Some agencies have a sim lab. Some agencies have just mannequins in a bed, and you just practice your skills on the mannequin that they have. And all you're gonna do is anything involving a trach, the emergency procedures for a trach, everything revolving around a G-tube, emergency procedures for that, vent training, anything emergency procedures revolving around that. It's training in the office, and you can ask for as much training as you need. I promise you, take as much training as you need, because once they check you off and you're okay, cool, you got it, when you're in that home, they're going to expect you to do what you did in the office. So just make sure you be real honest about that part. So when you finish doing all of that, they're going to put you on, it's either 24 or 36 hours of training. I cannot remember. Each agency is different, but you will have to get those hours in shadowing shifts. They're going to put you with a seasoned nurse who knows what they're doing. And I always say, if you have trouble doing G-tube care, go find or ask for a client with G-tubes. You can learn from that nurse and let that nurse tell you what to look for, what's how to do G-tube care, and just how to what's it called, like when you measure, oh my god, what is it called, placement, checking the placement. Like wherever your weak areas are, that's where you should go and train the most, and train until you feel comfortable doing these procedures in the home by yourself. Okay, best advice ever. So once you do your 24 to 36 hours of training, they're going to put you on meet and greets. You cannot work with a client one-on-one unless you have a meet and greet, for many reasons. I'm going to tag my story time below about how I went to a family's home without a meet and greet, and that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I'm going to tag that video down below. But the purpose of a meet and greet is not only to make sure that you're comfortable in the home, the family is comfortable with you, just kind of get a sense of everybody, mom, dad, sister, brother, whoever's in the home. It just makes sure that everyone is comfortable in the home and that you are comfortable with your client, because without a meet and greet, it's like you're walking in blindly. You don't know what to expect. They could have dogs and things like that. Usually if the family have like pets or anything, that's something the agency will relay to you, like, hey, are you okay with working with families with with pets or anything like that? Are you okay with working with a family that smokes? It's like they vet the family and then they just like give you the information, and you make that decision if you want to work with that family or not. So yes, meet and greets are highly important. And no matter how many years of experience that you have as a nurse, do the meet and greet. Okay, I'm not saying that that's written in stone, but it's so beneficial to do the meet and greet. So once you do a couple meet and greets, you're gonna find the client who best fits your schedule. If I'm looking for a day shift position, 9 to 5, that's what I'm gonna go for. It's really common sense at that point. They're gonna put you with the client who meets the needs of what your schedule is, if that makes sense. Once you have that full-time client, or if you are working part-time, once you have that part-time client with those hours, still go on the meet and greets, because who's to say that that client doesn't get sick or something happens or they might pass away. You're gonna need that steady income. That's why you want to do like as many meet and greets as you can, because like I said, you cannot work with anyone unless you do a meet and greet. And it's like, meet and greets are good, but at the end of the day, there's really no money in meet and greets. I think you get paid like, what is it? I don't know, but it's like $15, I think, for a meet and greet. $15 an hour. And since we're talking about the pay rates and things, so in your orientation, I think you get paid $7.25 an hour for the orientation, and then for the shadowing is $15 an hour, and the meet and greet is $15 an hour, if I'm not mistaken. It's something like that, but you don't make your full amount until you actually get established with the client and work those hours. So yes, that is literally how you get started into home health. Being that I was in home health for a year, I want to say the biggest lesson that I've learned is probably, again, to do the meet and greets. Also, read the fine print, because in the avenue of home health is kind of like, if you don't work, you don't get paid unless you have like that PTO buildup, if that makes sense. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't be with the client, then you don't get paid. Also, another thing that I've learned is don't let the agency, not necessarily bully you, but don't let them be too aggressive in terms of putting you with the client, because they want you with that client. You know what I'm saying? Because the agency is telling the family, oh, we have all these nurses, blah, blah, blah. It's just, it can get real sticky. You know what I'm saying? It can get real sticky sometimes with the communication. Just make sure you're comfortable, and always be transparent with your agency. Like, hey, I know that this client needs the hours that I need, but I don't feel comfortable because X, Y, and Z. And that way they can already notify the family, like, hey, they're not going to tell the family that. I'm like, hey, our nurse has some things come up and she can't work the case, but she'll work like the rest of the week, and that'll be that. Like, the agency will always have your back at the end of the day, but they also have an obligation to the family as well. So that can get kind of sticky. It's like where you can have, I'm not even going to use the analogy because I just damn near lost my train of thought. So like I said, it can get kind of tricky when it comes to certain situations that can come up there are so many situations that can come up. Just make sure you're transparent and you're solid. And your first loyalty has to be yourself and your needs. Don't think about the family. Don't think about the agency. Think about yourself. Because like I said, I've been in home health for a year as a nurse, and I know how that stuff goes. So just be careful. Make sure you do your research at the end of the day. And if you need more training, please ask for it, because I was shaking doing my first trach change. But it's like, the more you do it, it's really nothing. I can do a trach change in my sleep. All of the nurses are very friendly. I love home health nurses, because it's like, we're just chill, like we're low stress. There's nothing to stress about. There's nothing to really have us all amped up all the time. Like, it's real chill environment. It's a great avenue of nursing. I wish more nurses would go into it. And just looking on YouTube, there's not many like really good home health videos about or there's not really many nurses who are content creators who are in the avenue of home health. And I kind of want to change that, because it's really like, I love my home health family. I really do. So if you guys learned something from this video, please comment down below. I would love to interact with you guys. And I will see you in my next one.